What happened to the black sheep of your family? My Aunt Clara was always the outcast. While her siblings became professors, surgeons, and CEOs, she drifted from job to job, waitressing, cleaning houses, even living in a roadside motel for a while. At every holiday dinner, my grandparents would sigh dramatically and say things like, Clara never figured her life out, or if only she'd married well. By the time I was a teenager, she'd basically stopped being invited to family gatherings. When I was 17, she showed up unexpectedly at Thanksgiving. But she wasn't the Clara anyone remembered. She wore an elegant black dress, diamond earrings that caught the light, and stepped out of a chauffeured town car. Everyone froze, forks midair. Then she calmly announced that she had just published a memoir, and it had already sold film rights to a major studio. Suddenly, the same people who had called her a burden were clapping her on the back, gushing about how they always knew she was special. Dad leaned over to me and muttered, "Writers don't get rich. This won't last." But Clara kept proving them wrong. Her book hit bestseller lists. She bought a gorgeous villa in Italy, and she quietly began funding women's shelters in our hometown. Then came last year's Easter reunion. Clara arrived with a film crew in tow, saying they were shooting a documentary about her life. Everyone puffed up, trying to look supportive, lining up to hug her. But when the cameras rolled, Clara had a surprise. She pulled out a stack of bound pages and began reading excerpts, not from her published memoir, but from her unpublished journals. Every cruel word our family had ever said about her was written down. My grandmother calling her, an embarrassment to the bloodline. My uncle joking at Christmas that she'd probably end up in jail. Even my dad's email to his brother, "Clara's too lazy to deserve help. Let her rot." She read them out loud, word for word, into the microphone. The room went silent. Then she smiled and said, "You thought I was wasting my time writing nonsense in all those notebooks. But those words made me millions, because the story the world loves is how I survived my own family." One by one, she revealed how she'd woven their cruelty into her book. Their gossip, their dismissals, their sneers, all thinly disguised, but recognizable enough that producers wanted the rights. "You gave me the villains," she said, raising a glass of champagne. "I just changed the names." My uncle tried to laugh it off. "It was all in good fun, Clara. Families tease." Clara's smile didn't waver. Funny how teasing feels a lot like betrayal when it's on paper. "Don't worry though, the contracts are signed. You'll all see yourselves on screen soon enough." Everyone's faces drained of color. The movie would immortalize every insult, every time they'd called her worthless. Clara turned to leave, then paused and looked at me. "Except you, Lily. You were the only one who visited me when I lived at that motel. The dedication page in my next book? It's for you." As her car door closed and the camera crew followed, my dad pulled out his phone, probably to call a lawyer, but a producer's assistant handed him a sealed envelope. Inside was a simple note written in Clara's looping script. "Don't bother. You all signed release waivers when you agreed to be interviewed for the documentary. Everything is legal."